The story impression strategy is a pre-reading strategy for narrative text. Students create a prediction based on a given list of words, then they confirm and adapt their ideas as they read the text. Students think about the elements of a story, including setting, characters, plot, etc. This lesson was conducted with a 4th grade class.
So today we're going to try something new. We are going to try a strategy for writing about what we are going to read and then checking to see if we made predictions that fit the story by using something called a story impression. I put our story impression up here. Now don't say anything out loud. But be thinking in your mind. A story impression uses 1 to maybe 3 words at a time. And they go in order of what happens in the story, and I connect them with a little arrow. So I know to start at the top and I follow my arrow down. But I don't really tell you everything that happens in the story. I give you some big clues though. We know some of the most important story elements are the characters and the setting and the plot, what happens. So I'm thinking about my elements of story as I do this. And when I created this story impression, that's what I was thinking of for a certain story. So you probably will be able to recognize what this story is. Don't say it out loud yet. Little girl to grandma's house, woods, meets wolf, grandma in bed, wolf arrives, little girl arrives, hunter arrives. Okay, are you all thinking what story it is? Okay, when I drop my hands, you're going to tell me what story it is. Ready?
Little Red Riding Hood.
Yeah, Little Red Riding Hood. Now, that you knew that because you had read Little Red Riding Hood, heard the story before. If you had never read Little Red Riding Hood, you might have seen this story impression, and if I said to you, so tell me the story that goes with this, you could say, okay, I know I have to use these things, I know it happens in this order. So there was a little girl who lived in California, and she went to visit her grandmother's house that was in the mountains near some woods. And when she goes out in her backyard, she meets a wolf there, and she runs inside to her grandma, who's in bed and sick, and said, there is a wolf that has arrived. So the wolf has arrived, and the little girl arrives to visit the grandma, and then somebody knocks on the door, and this hunter arrives and says that he lost his pet wolf, and have they seen it? And they'll say, oh yeah, it's in our backyard. Now, did I tell you the story of Little Red Riding Hood? No, but I used all these things, and I used them in order. So this just gives you some clues about what happens in the story. So I want you to model this with me for another story before I give you one that you haven't read before. Let's pretend that we're making a story impression for Cinderella. Okay? So think in your mind the story of Cinderella. If I were going to do this, I probably would start off with my character, because I know character element's really important. So what could I say for my first part of my story impression?
You could say Cindy, and that was wrong.
You could say Cinderella. We could say woman named Cinderella, because I don't want more than 3 words. Woman named Cinderella. Now, I can only use maybe 5 or 10 different things going down here, so I can't use that many. What else could I say happens in Cinderella? That's really important, and it has to go in order. So there's a woman named Cinderella. Don't tell me too much.
My sister is also.
Okay, there are bossy sisters. Bossy sisters, or you could say stepsisters. What could I say next?
She wants to the ball.
Yes. Could we say dance? Remember this, you sort of want to give some clues, but you don't want to say exactly. So, wants to dance. Okay? What happens next? Good card. Yes.
But she can't.
Can't go. Yep. Or, well, we can just put can't.
Yeah.
That's fine. Okay? Let's try to do just 2 more. Oh my goodness. If I only had 2 more things that I could say about the story.
Meets godmother.
God meets godmother. Ooh, how are we going to finish it off? Cameron.
Her stepmother has her sleep in this little basement upstairs.
She does. So, but if I only have one more thing here, it better be sort of what happens towards the end. That is towards the end where she's sort of locked up in that upstairs room. Oh, so she has happily ever after. What makes her live happily ever after?
King found the one that had the glass slipper.
Prince, can we say Prince finds her shoe?
Yeah.
Okay, I like that.
Yes.
Finds shoe. Now I like this because you gave us some clues, but if somebody didn't know the story of Cinderella, they wouldn't quite know what happened. We have a woman named Cinderella. She has some bossy sisters. She wants to dance. She can't. She meets a godmother, and the prince finds her shoe. If I said, write this story, and you didn't know Cinderella, you could say something like, there was a woman named Cinderella. She had 6 bossy sisters, and she wanted to dance. She wanted to go to the local ballet school, but she couldn't because she can't, because she doesn't have enough money. But she meets her godmother, who's wicked rich, and says that she'll pay her dance lessons. And she goes there, and there is a prince who finds her lost ballet slipper, and that's how they end up meeting and dating. Did I tell you the story of Cinderella?
No.
No, but I did use these, and I used them just like they were all in order. So the reason we do this is to make a prediction about the story we're going to read and write about it. And then you get to go read the story and see how closely what you thought was going to happen actually happened. So as you read that story, you're thinking in your mind, was I right? Does this match? And then you can go back and check and see how close it is. So today I'm going to give you a story impression for a story you haven't read. And you're going to start by writing a paragraph, not long, just one paragraph, that uses the words in your story impression in order to tell the story. Then we're going to read it and see if you were able to guess what happened in that story. And you're thinking about our important story elements of character and plot and setting, what you might need to have in that story. Give me a thumbs up if you think you can do that. Okay, excellent. I'm only going to give you 6 words. It looks like this: spaceship, plants, bear, camera, fire, poison ivy. So you're going to use those 6 words probably in about 6 sentences because we don't have time to write a real long story. This is like a summary. And you're going to write it right here on your own. Are you ready? When I give you your paper, you're going to tiptoe back to your desk and you're going to do this. If you didn't get a chance to finish up in the next sentence, and then would you please put your pencil down? I'm going to ask that you turn to the person sitting next to you, or if there's 3 of you right there, join a group of 3, that's fine. And would you whisper read your story to the person next to you that you're predicting fits those words? Go ahead.
At this point, after sharing the stories the students have created around the story impression, they would then be given the actual text on which that story impression is based. In this case, it's the short story Forest Stranger by Pamela Love. And they would read that story and go back and talk with their partners about the elements that they were spot on with, that they really did predict correctly, and then those elements that were quite different in the story. I try to choose a story that has a twist ending or something a little unusual in it to make this entertaining for the students. It really gets students involved. It gives them a purpose for reading the text. It also gives them a short writing assignment where they're practicing their narrative writing in a very confined manner, given direct words that they have to put in, so they don't have to come up with a completely new idea, and they know that the duration of the writing isn't too long, so my reluctant writers are much more willing to participate in this activity also.